Hey, y'all, welcome back to Chattin with Coach Amy. Today I have my Tennessee girl, Patti Ann Bell, and I had to say it twice.
Hi, I am so excited to finally get to talk to you again. Just the two of us. I'm so excited.
I have missed you so much.
I've missed you too.
Oh, my stars. Y'all, ain't she just the cutest thing in the world?
Thank you.
So cute. Oh, my gosh. Okay, fill me in. How are the babies?
Babies are good. George is 3. Alan is 1. So 14 months. So they're the same size. So,
Oh, my boys were like that.
Life is fun, and they're both running around, getting into everything. And so right now
I saw Alan scooting around, like trucking it in the house and on video. Yeah.
He's quick. He is so quick. And I thought, it's a good thing that I am now where I am physically to be able to catch up with my kids.
That's right. That's right. So are you at home right now or are you at work?
Yeah, I'm at home.
You're at home, okay.
I'm going to go into work later this afternoon, but wanted to take this from my house today.
Thank you.
Just so I didn't have any distractions at all.
Yes, I understand. Well, I really appreciate it. I cannot wait for everyone to hear your story. So I'm going to let you take the wheel and to start off with telling us a little. I know you already talked about your children, but just tell us a little about you, and then we'll get into your THM journey. Okay?
Sure. Great. All right. Patti Ann Bell. I live in Tennessee, and I have been married to my husband for almost 11 years. And we've been together since high school. So it's been wonderful. Yes. And we've got 2 boys, and it's just a fun time right now. And I'm a believer, a Christian, and that really just runs through my veins. And I hope that, you'll see that throughout the journey that Amy and I talk about today, that it's really who I am, and a proud daughter in the Lord. And so, but yeah, I have several siblings, and we all have a great relationship. And so life is just fun right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tell us a little about your man, if you can.
Sure. So my husband is a police officer. He has been an officer probably close to 12 years, 13 years now, and has done it in different parts of where we live. And I'm so thankful for his sacrifice, and so thankful for him and all the other officers and law enforcement for all of what they do. And he loves cars and keeps and stays busy, has his own little car detailing business on the side, and builds fences, and is just so self-motivated and loves the Lord, and just truly my helpmate. And I'm so thankful for him.
Y'all so sweet. I'm about to text him and tell him to get your behind to Nashville.
I know. If we did not have a family,
I'm gonna need that to happen. Okay.
I know. We have a wedding, and we can't miss the wedding.
I do not care about your family member's wedding.
Next time.
Yes.
We got to make the trip to you, that maybe that we can meet the next time you come up here a little halfway.
Oh, yes, we will. Yeah. Last time it was not good. I was just wore out. That was tough, but we do come for twice a year.
Yeah. That's what we need to do.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So how did you find out about THM?
Oh gosh. Okay. So this is going back a long time. I stumbled upon Trim Healthy Mama through a lady at my church, like 2014. Okay. We're talking like the big book, right? Yeah. And I bought, and I just knew, I was newly married, a couple years into my marriage, and I had started gaining weight, and I'm like, what is happening to me?
Yeah. What's going on?
Right. I was very small, and all of a sudden I was put on weight, and I'm like, I just got married, and I did not want to do that. And so I jumped on Trim Healthy Mama. We're talking, I read the whole book. I tabbed each section.
I am not surprised at all.
I highlighted everything. I read it actually on a family vacation. I read it in the car. And when we came home, it was before I had kids. So my husband and I, we just went full on. He was a trim, healthy man with me, and we did it together. All the strange, like weird things in the first book that you're like, I don't really know how to do this or anything.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I made the first black bean hamburgers, because it was they self-published it. And so I didn't know you're supposed to blend the black beans. So I had like chunks of oats and like all the
Whole
different
beans.
baked beans. It was just terrible. It was a mess. And so we did it though. And I lost, probably 20 pounds, 15 pounds, and I kept it off for a while. And then we moved into our we started building a house a couple years later, and then life happens, and I got pregnant with George in 2019. And at that point I was at my heaviest for sure. And then I got pregnant on top of that, and had George. And right when I had him, it was I came back to work, and it was entering into the pandemic.
Okay.
2020, March 2020. That's when I went back to work for maternity leave. My job gave 12 weeks of leave, and I was so thankful for that time. Yeah. And so I had a good amount of time off of work. But then the world shut down, right? Yeah. And I kind of reverted back to old tendencies, kind of my food journey. I don't want to skip ahead, so tell me to stop if I need to.
No, go.
But, okay. So my food has always kind of been a crutch for me. I'll never forget sitting in the 5th grade and being bigger than all the other girls. Oh, wow. And like literally eating like ketchup packets and a hash brown for lunch, so just, wow. I never had like, it's just always been like secrecy, and there was no reason for it. I had a loving, wonderful home. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I had anything more than that, but definitely had issues with food. Definitely. Yeah. It was definitely a barrier. And I became a believer when I was young, about 7 years old, but, kind of through journeying through what that looked like growing up, and then trying to figure out, okay, I'm a bigger girl and all those things. And so, that's kind of part of it. Right. And so food, so fast forward back to March of 2020, I was at home working full time with a newborn, because the school had shut down. And so
tell us what you do for work, because that's interesting to me.
Okay. So I'm a portfolio manager. I have an accounting degree.
Manager.
I have an accounting degree, but I wanted to have a normal job and normal hours because I wanted a family. And so I work at a bank. I'm a portfolio manager. I work in their government and institutional group. So I work with municipalities, K through 12s, different kind of what you would classify not-for-profits. And I help bring them lending solutions so that they can complete their mission. And it's something.
My goodness, I'm telling you, you're the coolest person. So cool.
It's so
Who
fun.
knew that was a job?
And it sounds kind of nerdy, but I love it because I'm able to really help bring others their purpose through giving, looking at their financials and looking to see, can they afford this, whatever. And we can, at the bank,
I'm like, can you be in charge of my money? Because I think you can probably help me a lot. And you're probably like, no, girl, I do not want to do anything like that.
No, I think you've got it covered. I'm sure you do.
Thanks. Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I know how neat that was. How neat. Okay. Yeah. So you were working from home in 2020. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was working like 80 hours a week because of the stuff going on in the banking world at the time, and caring for a newborn. And I just found myself putting myself last. I almost kind of felt like I was in prison because my husband's job, he had to be out. He had to do those things. Right. And understandably so. Right. I almost went into postpartum depression.
Right.
Probably was.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of like the second round because everything was kind of okay. And then I kind of reverted back into it.
Girl. I hadn't had a baby and I felt that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I started kind of coming back out of it a little when the world kind of opened back up and schools were able to go in that fall here where we live. And things started getting a little bit better. but still did not quite have my food situation figured out. I tried all the things, like I tried different like meal prep things and different things. I'm a planner, and if I'm not planning, I am, going to eat a whole bag of cashews. Okay. So, different things, and I still just couldn't get it right. Well, then we got pregnant again, and I'm so thankful for our second baby. And everything was wonderful through that pregnancy as well. But I was very heavy when I had him. I was heavy for me. I know that's all relative, so I want to be sensitive and all those things. But heavy for me, definitely at a low point, but also so celebratory for motherhood. And so I just let it rest. My husband, after having my second, a couple of weeks after having him, my husband was ready to get back on the health train. And I said, I will help you, but I can't do it. I'm not ready yet. And so I was actually
just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm 2 weeks postpartum. I've had 2 C-sections, so I was still recovering from that. And so it was just kind of doing my best. And I was thankful for his subtle push, because that actually helped me think, okay, I'm not caring for myself. I have 2 kids. I have a husband who wants to eat better, who wants to live healthier. And I just was like, no. And I was not being submissive. I was not being submissive to the Lord. I was not being submissive to my husband. And, it just wasn't, I just wasn't being obedient. And I was so thankful for his gentle nudges to me, because I needed that. I needed to come out of myself, because I immediately went back into postpartum depression mode of I need to eat to survive.
Yeah.
Versus how you say we eat to fuel our bodies. And that is something that has been that was so revolutionary for me. I don't mean to fast forward, but and that's not what I was doing. I was just like, I need to be comforted. And in the meantime, I was buying bigger shirts. I was buying bigger clothes, and it was financially impacting us because none of my clothes fit. And I've had to keep buying all these new clothes every year thinking, okay, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And it just never did. And so I went to see my grandmother the end of August. I mean, in the end of July, 1st of August. She lives in Florida. And when I came home, I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. So August of 22, I jumped back on Trim Healthy Mama.
Yeah.
I have not cheated since. There have been some times where it may have been like, all right, this is pushing it. But I have not cheated. I was really close. I was really close. But I found you in I found you in August, but you weren't the way your rotations for one-on-ones, they started in September.
Girl, there's some people that don't like that. I had a woman just last week. She was not happy with me. I'm like, ma'am, I'm only one person. I'm really sorry you're disappointed. I don't know what else to do. You can do buds and you can join in July and August, but I'm one person. I only got 24 hours. Like
you can only do so much. You can only change so many people's lives at one time.
No, it's a terrible thing. I'm doing my best, man.
Well, I will tell you that month of that August, this past August, I ate all the Franken foods. Okay. I did it all. Okay.
I'm about to really hurt your feelings.
I was like, I'm going to be on plan, but I'm not going to be on plan. Cause I was like, I just want to be on plan the way I knew how to be. Because originally in 2014, the plan has changed quite a bit. And by the end of the Trim Healthy journey, round 1 for me, I was really like Franking food it up, like personal choice. Let's do the low carb wraps every meal. And I really thought I was doing fine. Right. Let's get the protein chip, those kinds of things. Right. I was doing all of that then. Okay. And so all I knew to do was to go back to that. And so I had a little bit of success that first month, only because it was radically different than eating completely off plan. Right. Right. Yeah. But then you came into my life. Cue the music, because I really don't know what else to say, because you and I hit it off from the beginning.
Oh man, I got that call. I'm like, new best friend.
Listen, I need everybody to hear me. Just do what Amy says. So Amy will bring you 50% and you got to go the other 50%. Do the thing. That's all you got to do. Because for me, that's what I needed. I needed that sweet sass kick in the pants that you give, and with as much love as you can give to somebody who you do not know. And you poured into me like I was your only client. And when you told me how many clients you had, I about choked. I was like, are you sure you have time to talk to me? Do we need to wrap this up so you can get to the next person?
Nope, that was your 30 minutes.
You didn't. You gave me exactly what I needed. And you said, this is what we're going to do. And I was ready. And I think for everybody where they are in their journey, I am convinced it is in your head most of the time.
Amen. That's right.
And if you were not, if I was not willing before, okay, I was not willing to do that before. Like I said, I was not being obedient. I was not being submissive to the Lord. The Lord gave me this body. He gave me one body. And I am very careful with what I give my kids, but I was not being careful with what I put in my own body. And I was moving around slow and I was hurting. My kids live upstairs, so I'm up and down the stairs like 20 times a day. And I just felt defeated. And I felt like I was so insufficient for them. And you helped me give me very practical things to make this plan simple, to help keep me on plan. And it has been life-changing for me. I mean, here I am, 50 pounds less than what I was in August.
Yeah.
And like over 35 inches gone. And I'm so thankful for that. And it's not because I'm a numbers person. So like not getting on the scale all the time, especially with my unhealthy attachment to food, has not always been good. Mm-hmm. So I try to just jump on the scale like the first of the month and do the measurements and the things. And I try not to get on the scale much in between. Because
it's just not any favors. No, it's really not.
It's not.
I want to go back to what you talked about. Pretty much you were saying that you were coachable. You were ready to be coached. And I think that's a huge topic I'd love to talk about with you. I made a post about a month ago, a few weeks ago, and it was something that I had been sitting on for probably 8 months, something that I wrote a long time ago, because I saw people come in. My level one is $475 for 2 months. Mm-hmm. And you're like, yep. And I paid it and it was worth it. And it was great. Well, there are some people that pay it or they come into Buds, the 165, or if they get $20 off, whatever, or they just take one of my $10 classes. And they think if they do one of those things is all going to click. But I loved so much how you said, I give that halfway push, but you all as clients have to do the other half. Because I'm going to show up. I've got all the things for you. I can tell you what you need to do. Mm-hmm. But unless you're ready, just like you talked about being submissive to the Lord and to your husband, you have to be submissive to your coach or whoever is that's encouraging you, whatever it is, not just Amy. But you have to, if you're going to pay that kind of money, you need to be ready to be submissive to that person, and go along with how the program is set up. I can individualize a lot of things, but I can individualize my program because the plan really doesn't change. You can tweak it for your needs because I have 20-year-olds, I have pregnant people, I have elderly people, I have menopausal and blah, 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 but PCOS, whatever. But it's pretty much the same thing for everyone. And that mindset stuff you were talking about. It's so important. And that's a lot. I do a lot of that mindset work in Blooms. You probably noticed it. Some people might not. I'm a little sneaky sometimes because I don't always want to be like, you need to get your mindset right. Like, I'm like, hey, how's y'all's habits? Hey, let's have, let's talk about, being compliant to the plan, whatever. And coming up in May, I don't know if you saw what it'll be for May, so I know you're a busy girl, but we're going to have Motivation May. Like, what do I need to be more motivated to accomplish to reach my goals? And it's different for everybody. That's the beauty of group, though, because we can't really spread it out. So I said a lot, sorry. What are your thoughts on any of that?
I think for me, I needed this to hurt for me to be accountable because like I said, I was walking in active disobedience to the Lord and to knowing that, I was not being faithful to him in my just daily walk with him. And that was manifesting itself through um, unhealthy different ways, meaning through eating or even through just my actions and not showing the love and the kindness that I should to my husband specifically. And so for me, this was all of that. And
Wow.
I mean, it was like, okay, I am going to make this hurt for me because I needed something that said, okay, Patti Ann, you're recommitting to the Lord. Not that I'm saying that this journey was a salvation moment. I've already been saved, but there are things that cloud our judgment in our walk through the different sins that we struggle with. And this is one of them for me. And so I know that my food habits were a concern and were an issue in impacting my walk with the Lord. And so I knew that I needed to pay that $475. I knew that I needed to, because I know that financially that impact. I mean, I asked for birthday money. Okay. I asked
You made it work. You made it work.
I did. I made it work. We made sacrifices, and we made it work. And that's going to look different for everybody else.
And
But for me, but for me, that's what I had to do. And I was ready. And I was not, had I actually started in August, I would not have been ready. Had I but the Lord just worked it out in his timing for me to start in September. And so when I did that, I was able to jump full feet, both feet in, and listen to exactly what you said. And then each time I just added something else. I mean, just goodness, the simplest things. I have never, ever eaten so much Canadian bacon than I have since August of 2022. I mean, really, it has been life-changing for me for e-breakfast, because I was always so hungry. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. I was eating too many.
You need some protein. And you were like,
protein. I did. Oh. And I now, okay, you're going to love this. I will explain to everybody else, but I now eat my cucumber uncut. I feel like I have.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. See, I always talk about, I'm not trying to make little Amy's, but y'all just manifest. You just happen anyway.
Right. And that's, that was always something so funny to me when you first started coaching. You would just eat your cucumber. You don't even cut off the ends. And I always remember joking with you, thinking I would never do that. And now I do. I'm like driving down the road with a couple cucumbers and my breakfast and making it work.
I'm such an influencer.
And lots of collagen coffee, collagen oolong tea, doing the thing. But these are all things that we just talked about each week. That I was able to add. And I will say this. So my go-to is your slimming cycle, right? That is my go-to when I can plan. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. Because it is definitely like up here for like people who really know the plan. So I don't want to confuse anybody or anything like that. Yeah. But for me, that is my default when I can plan. But also if I'm having a week of, it's been busy the last couple of weeks, I've had to travel for work. My husband's been traveling. Guess what? I have just been on plan. I'm just for all 3 meals. Okay, whatever. And it's fine. And guess what? I haven't worried about it because I know the bandwidth of the plan, and I can work within the bandwidth of the plan because of the tools that you gave me. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, my default is unless I hit this lemon cycle, I have to jump off plan. No. I mean, if my only snack is a giant handful of cashews and a cucumber because I don't have anything else and didn't have time to prepare, it's fine. It's not trim. It's not slimming, but guess what? It is on plan.
And the stress that people feel when they do stuff like that, it raises their cortisol and causes that belly fat to get back in there.
It does. It does.
Just relax.
Exactly.
And then you can make a better decision. Do it then.
I do.
That's some of the best advice I could give anybody.
I agree. And that is what has saved me, because I feel the flexibility. You have really given me, there is so much flexibility within the Trim Healthy Mama plan, but my personality tends to default to like rules and principles. And, I would say, not to be, okay. I would say a lot of it, I was looking through Trim Healthy Mama, almost like the Pharisees treated Jesus. Oh, yeah, I see. Just very legalistic and all of those things. And that's That is not it. That is not the plan.
That is not what Pearl and Serene want for us.
No, it's not. But unless you take it in, you do the work yourself, commit to a coach if that's what you need, commit to Amy. I always try to point people to you. Unless you're willing to do that, then you are going to treat it like rules and regulations. And that is not beneficial at all. That is only stressful, and it leaves you only feeling like a failure. But for me, there has been so much freedom in the since I started back. I've eaten emails out at restaurants.
Doesn't that make you feel so accomplished?
It does. And it does. I mean,
eat at a restaurant. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's right. And it's not very often. There's not.
No, it's not. I know. I agree.
But through the different things that you have provided through all of your free resources, as well as through my coaching, and I'm still in blooms. But, for me, I know that when I start feeling like I'm leaning back into the rules and regulations, I have to pull back. I have to, because that's not what I want. And I know that's not the truth. Right? I know that that's not what this plan is about. This plan is truly about freedom. And when I start feeling like, okay, Patti Ann, you've stacked up too many rules against yourself today, then pull back. Right? I mean, I live and die by my Fuel Pulse afternoon snack. I get up really early.
She fought me a little on that, y'all. She did.
I did. I fought you on all of those things. And then your sweet kick in the pants when you told me that I needed to start my morning with a fuel pull and not a big, huge breakfast. I was like, okay, I don't believe you. But guess what? That's what I needed too. And it's what I needed, because I don't need all those calories. My morning starts at 3:45. Yeah. My evening ends at like 9:30 or 10. I really do not have a ton of time for working out. So you helped cater the plan to me and say, you know what, you need 2 fuel pulls. And so I do. I start my morning with a fuel pull coffee, and then I have an afternoon. Now, sometimes my afternoon fuel pulls are pretty hearty with the Watsa crackers and the turkey and the cucumbers and the peppers and all the things. But guess what? It ties me over to dinner. Yeah. And I have found that has been so successful. Those are just small tools that you have given me to really help me find the freedom to have. And because it's not all about the cheese. It's funny how I've actually stepped away from so much cheese. We've done a few meals at church recently, and I'm like, well, a casserole is kind of the easiest thing. And so when we've had leftovers, I'm kind of like, all right, well, who's going to eat this? It's not me.
Husband, but this is yours.
Yeah, that's right. Please eat this. But yeah, so that's kind of where this journey has taken me, and it has really just given me my life back. In just different ways, I feel so much better equipped to take care of my children. I am not tired. So I'm able to get up at 3:45 in the morning and have 45 minutes in the Word before the day even starts.
And let me just say, people, this girl that you see right now, this is the way she is all the time. And I mean, I know you have bad days like everybody, but I coached your mother-in-law. And when a mother-in-law speaks highly of a daughter-in-law, like, it makes me want to cry. Like, you are an incredible person, like, for real. Because I love her. She takes care of me. She is the real deal. She's always offering things. I mean, just amazing. Just amazing. So I wanted to tell you that. Because I know she's told you. I know you know this. But
I have been given such a precious gift. She is a precious gift of mine. And, my husband and I, Nathan, we have been together for so long, and I have had just the best and wonderful relationship. And so we've done this journey together, as well as my sister, but, my mother-in-law we've done this journey together, and through gentle pushes. Right. And she's doing well too. And I know that, she and I couldn't be any further different in our journey.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Cancer survivor. And she's got lymphedema. She's got all the other health issues she's got, and you helped equip her too.
Yep.
And she is kept on plan too. Yep. And I think that is just what I'm so thankful for, that you see each of us, and while the plan doesn't change, I do think that's the benefit of the individual coaching, or being willing to say, okay, if I'm going to do buds, I'm going to do buds to the full extent and be fully plugged in. Cause that's what my mother-in-law did. She
Yes,
did
she
do
did.
buds.
Yes, she did.
And I was so proud of her. And then because of blooms, she was able to do your, kind of
The mini
couple
blooms.
weeks, the mini blooms.
Yep.
And it's just through the different resources that you've provided. And so it just ultimately comes back, are you ready?
That's right. I agree. Are you coachable? That is huge. And I didn't really plan on talking about that with you. So I'm glad that it came up, but it's so true. And I appreciate clients that are ready. And I'm not negative nillying on the ones that aren't, because I mean, they don't know, but I hope anybody that listens to this, no matter if they choose me or another coach, or if they just choose to do it on their own, you still have to be coachable, because even if you're just going through the resources that are in Trim Healthy Table that explain the plan, you still have to be willing to fall under the authority of the plan. There is a lot of freedom with Trim Healthy Mama, but there still is, are you on plan or off plan?
Right.
There still are some rules, but there are some, there's extremes. There are extremes. The personal choice, willy-nilly. Then you've got the only have SEFP and I'm only fueling 3 times a day. And I'm making sure, that right there, I'll never do. No, negative. No, thank you. No, thank you so much. And then you have, other people that are kind of just in the middle, and some we go back and forth, but I think that's just life. But I love so much how you brought up how your way that you do it and the way that your Miss Joy does it. It's just so amazing how it can help so many people with so many different things in their lives. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful.
My sister and I were talking this morning, and she said, Patti Ann, it's the little acts of faithfulness every day that amount to great change, and, when I think about my walk with the Lord, doing the everyday mundane things, doing the next thing and walking in obedience is what we're called to do. Right. And so it's through changing the diapers. It's your attitude and obedience to him. And, I know that that's not going to apply to everybody. Right. And so if you're not a believer, you can still be Trim Healthy Mama. You can still do those things. And it's truly, what is your attitude? If you're going to do everything with grumbling and complaining, you will not find success. Correct. This will not be for you.
Correct.
And you're almost better to not do it than to commit to something and grumble and complain, because you don't want to be, a sour grape in your family, or, amongst everybody.
Sour grape. Love it.
You don't, and so you want to be an add to people's lives. Yes. You want to be joyful for them and joyful in all circumstances. And if this plan, the way that you're viewing this plan is keeping you from doing that, then you've got it wrong. Like you said, there are rules, but that's what we do every day. My job has things that I have to do. Your job, you have minimum standards you have to do every day. As a mom, as a wife, we have all these things. And so why do we think our health journey is any different?
Yeah. Amen.
We have to do that to be able to take care of ourselves and be available. And so that's where it's really made a difference for me, really looking through the lens of, I need to take care of myself. I need to be a good steward of my body. So that way I can then be able to take care of my people.
Yeah,
the way that I need to be, and the way that I've been called to be.
That's right. So I know you sprinkled in some information about your progress, but I want to have a specific combo about that. I want to hear all the things. Tell me.
Okay. All right. So, I'll just talk numbers with you, because I don't mind talking numbers. The reason I always go back to August as my start point is that's when I really kind of took on the plan, because there was weight that I kind of that kind of fell off after having my baby last year. So I don't really like to intermingle that. But when I started intentionally trying to lose weight, I was 184.5. I now weigh 135.
Way less than I do.
It's time. I didn't know that.
You do
until just now. Oh my God. guarantee you that your body, that your body fat is still like what, 0.1% because you're all muscle.
No,
I jiggle around plenty. I jiggle around plenty still. Okay. There's still plenty of that.
But
Okay.
that's another point to bring up though.
We need to talk about that. That's
You
actually
weigh less, but I mean, maybe we still look different. And we're probably, I think we're about the same height. How tall are you?
5'3".
I'm 5'2". So I bet standing side by side, we are not even going to look the same.
No,
That's okay.
you are, cut muscle, looking good, all the things. And I'm like, my arms still jiggle, I got the saggy skin, that's kind of like trapped up in my high-waisted pants, but it's fine, I mean, and so now I'm in it. So like
50 pounds.
Mm-hmm. I'd like it's wild. I mean, it's wild to actually say that out loud because, like I said, I didn't go into this thinking I was at a 12, 14 last August. And now I'm in like 4s and 6s. And that's where my clothes were for work, which I'm so thankful for. Cause like somebody the other day said, that's a cute shirt. I'm like, circa, 2017, circa 2015. Cause they asked where I got it. I was like, look, it's not dry rotted yet. So, I mean, these are just the small non-scale victories that keep pushing you forward, and you'd asked me to send you a side-by-side picture. And I really hadn't spent a lot of time thinking through that. And in the comment that I sent you was, I had a hard time finding one that didn't have my baby in front of me. And that is not, I want to be very careful that I am never, I never stack my weight concerns towards my children. I want to be very clear.
Sure.
But the way that I took care of my body, or the lack of caring for my body while I was pregnant, while doing the best I could, and the mental space that I was in, was not right for me, and so I'm so thankful to be on this side of it. But it is hard to look back at some of those pictures and think, wow, I was really miserable, and wow, it didn't have to be that way. And so, but that's okay, right? I mean, I enjoyed all of those times with them. Sure. And with, growing up, as a baby and doing all those things. And I have moments of me in being those pictures, but just none by myself. And so I had to take a screenshot of one with my family that I was in. But, seeing it side by side, I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful to be on this side of it and persevering through it. I try to ride my bike now once a week.
Girl, I was going to ask you about exercise.
I'm about once a week. That's better than none.
Yeah.
Realistically, there's a few things that still don't fit the way I would love them to. I think a lot of it has to
be a busy girl. You are.
And so I'm thinking if I can do 1 to 2 weeks in my bike, I think kind of shifting some stuff around, and building up some muscle and things like that. I think I'd feel a little bit better. I mean, I feel great now. That's not part of it. I'm not trying to, skinny myself to death. It's never been the goal. It's never been. It's always been.
But I mean, building lean muscle is amazing. And as the boys get older, you might get pregnant again. I don't know y'all's plans, but as the boys get older, you will see more time, and they'll be playing. You won't have to tend to them so much, and you'll be like, right. I can do 15 minutes this afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. And that's okay. And so for me, that was a great point. So for me, where I am in my journey, I have a plan that keeps me successful. That's right. I went on my work trip last week. I was gone 3 full days on a work trip. I was on plan the entire time. I packed my breakfast. I had lunches with me. I had snacks with me. I had my collagen coffee, and they all looked at me like I had 9 heads. But guess what? I felt great.
Yeah, you did.
I was energized. I was ready to be in work meetings. I had exactly what I needed. And I would not have done that a year ago. I would not have known how to have done that. And it worked well for me. And so right now, like you said, where I am in my life, I'm not able to exercise. So I have to be a little bit more rigid with my food. And that's okay, but someone who has the benefit of an hour, 3 or 4 times a week, or whatever, or, every day, 20 minutes, they may be able to eat fewer fuel pulls than me. And again, that's the beauty of the plan and being able to tweak it to where you are in your journey.
Yeah. Ooh, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. So real quick, I want you to go over what your day looks like. I know we talked a little bit about your 345 fuel pull, but go through maybe what each meal looks like most of the time.
Okay. Well, I can just tell you what I have planned for today.
Do it.
Just so it's because it's easy. So, like I said, I do my collagen coffee. And I have started though, recently I got the Vital Proteins, the one with the vanilla in it, the coconut one. I'll do 1 scoop of it because it's like that gets me like 4.5 grams of fat. And then, and then a scoop of the chocolate one. And so that keeps me right at 5 grams of fat for my fuel pull, just because I found that I was getting hungrier sooner than the 3 hours. So I added a little bit more fat to it. So I use that for my 4:30-ish. That's usually when I drink it by the time I get to it. And then I'm in the car. That's the unfortunate thing. And when I shift my breakfast now to instead of at 4:30 to like the 7:38, I'm in the car with my kids. So what is a portable meal? So this morning, I had the giant baked blueberry pancake.
Yeah.
I actually made it into little muffins because it's easier to eat with. Yes. I had 3 of them because it's small. And I put a huge dollop of 000 yogurt on top of it. I had 3 pieces of Canadian bacon. I had 2 cucumbers and 2 peppers. And it was delicious. And I was very full. And I was safe the whole time driving. And so, and so for lunch.
It's a little overwhelming being vulnerable, is it not?
Yeah.
Are you feeling what I feel every day?
Yeah, it is.
I feel like I'm going to be questioned and I'm like, you know what? It's what I'm doing. You stay in your lane. I'm going to stay in mine. If you don't like it, unfollow me. I have wanted to say that so many times to people, but I just puffy hearted and keep on going. It's okay.
Well, I'll say it. I'm happy to be the the pusher here because, my thing is you have to do what works for you. I'm a volume eater. That again goes back to my, food issues. I'm a volume eater. So anytime I can leverage that in the Trim Healthy Mama way, I try. So for lunch today, I have a giant thing of green beans that I cooked with a little bit of avocado oil. And then I've got chicken cakes on top. I love chicken cakes. It's a huge family favorite. And I've got that on top. And so that's my lunch. It's an S. So it's great. And then for dinner, my husband is going to be out tonight. So I've already got lentil soup already in my freezer. And my sister always jokes with me because I always add weird stuff to my soups. And so it's got okra in it, and green beans. Why not? Whatever. And cauliflower rice. Why not? I'm the only one eating it, so my kids aren't going to eat it. So I've got that for dinner tonight, and I've got
veggie full lentil soup. You go, girl.
Exactly. And that's my dinner. And so that's a walk through my day. Oh, well, my snack. I forgot my snack. My snack will be the 2 Wassa crackers with turkey, Laughing Cow cheese, peppers and cucumbers, and I'll probably do a collagen oolong tea with it. Just to kind of because anytime I have an dinner, I like to really have a good hearty FP snack. Yep. I think I've got some blueberries too. Yep. Anytime people walk by my desk, I think everybody's concerned about how much quantity I'm eating, but it's
50 pounds. 50 pounds.
I am not eating an entire meal of chicken cakes. It is a few chicken cakes with green beans. And so I stack up my veggies as much as I can. And that's what works. And so that's my day.
Oh, you such a good little Coach Amy client that made Trim Healthy Mama work for you, Patti Ann Bill.
My friend, she just started back on Trim Healthy Mama, and I've been sending her your resources, and I just told her, I said, little at a time. If you're not ready to drink from, the fountain, drink from a water hose, drink from a little bit at a time. And if you're not, you may not be at a point to say, all right, I'm ready to dive into how Patti Ann eats, but take just your breakfast then, make your breakfast on plan and do it really, really, really well. And if that's what works for you, that works for you. But for me, it was, I'm cutting it all out and I need to go full force. And that's just my personality, that I was ready to cut it out and pivot, and I haven't looked back.
Love it. So good. So good. I do not have any other questions for you, but is there anything else that you wanted to share?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I could probably talk forever. But
Good. This has been amazing.
I just, want to be an encouragement to people listening that um, everybody's journey looks different. I'm very thankful that I am healthy and that I don't have really any other barriers, and I'm blessed in that, and I'm thankful for that. And because of that, I want to be a good steward of that. And I know, like we talked about my mother-in-law is not as fortunate. And so she really has to work really, not that I don't work really hard, but she has other contributing factors that really do impact her journey. Chronic pain, just different things. But she's made it work for her too. And so I think that this plan will work for you. Well, not I think, I know this plan will work for you, but you have to be committed to it.
Yeah.
And just like you're committed to your family, just like you're committed to, prayerfully the Lord, just different things, you have to be committed to this and say, I care about my health. I want to do the best that I can. So.
Yeah. And if you're worth it, I don't care who you are, what you've done, what you hadn't done, you're worth doing this. And, this is a universal statement. Choose your hard, hard being unhealthy, and it's hard being healthy.
Right.
But from where I am 6+ years in, it gets easier to make those decisions. I don't eat, like when I sit down at a restaurant, I'm not like, oh, am I going to have the bread? No, I'm a trim healthy mama. I don't eat the bread. Am I going to have pasta? No, I'm a trim healthy mama. I don't eat pasta. Now, you may be a trim healthy mama that lets yourself have pasta every now and then. I would feel terrible. I know that I wouldn't feel good.
Right.
So, that's something that the guy teaches in Atomic Habits. We're doing that in Bloom's. He says, like someone that's trying to quit smoking, if someone offers them a cigarette, they should say, no, thanks. They should not say, no, thanks, I'm trying to quit. They should say, no, thanks, I'm not a smoker. And that's what I do. If I'm at a place and people don't know what I do, a lot of people do, but some people don't. And they say, do you want some dessert? No, thank you. I don't eat sugar. That's exactly what I say. And I said that before I read it in Atomic Habits, because I don't say I'm a trim healthy mama, because they'd be like, you're a what now? But I don't eat sugar. No, thank you. And they leave me alone, or they might look at me funny, but I just smile back. And I do not owe them an explanation.
Exactly.
So, and it's just a mindset, and it's hard for a lot of people because they've been through so much trauma or issues and depression, anxiety and stuff, but there is so much freedom. I still have anxiety. I've been through really, really, really bad bouts of depression. I don't talk about that openly, but I do admit it openly, but it's a very tender part of my life. I think I'm open enough with a lot, but it's easy for people to say, I can't, but I'm telling you that you can, because I've seen people with some very traumatic past, and then also issues with mental health and different things like that have done it.
Yeah.
And they're free and they're healing. And it's a beautiful thing. And I would hate for anyone to let that stop them, to let that negative outlook stop them from enjoying the abundant life that Christ promises us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. And for me, we all, like you said, we all have our journeys of what darkness looks like in our life. And we all have to figure out how to navigate through those times, and that doesn't mean that you just have to be frozen and stop in place. But guess what? I still have these moments of, it's been a really hard week, and what am I going to do? And instead, I just choose to be on plan. And like I said, it may not be perfect, but it's going to be on plan.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Well, we're going to end it right there, because that's some good stuff. Thank you so much for letting me pick your brain and sharing and all the things. So good.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. This has been fun.
Good. You want to tell them bye?
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.